Wow. Boeing today just went up almost 13%. Almost 13%. I mean, look at this graph here. It went up $19. It went from $154 to $173. And then after hours, it went up another 3%. So currently, right now, it is after hours, it is at $177. Hi guys, Vaughn here. Today we are going to be taking a look at why Boeing went up so much today and what are your options. What are your options afterwards? Do you buy? Do you sell? So let's get right into this. Okay, so if we look at a 3-month chart, on March 20th, it was at its very lowest point at $95. And then a few days later, on March 26th, it was at its highest point at $180. Keep that in mind, $180. In a time frame of less than a month, it went from $120 to currently right now at $173. It's actually $178 after hours. Close to 40% growth in 3 weeks. I mean, personally, I never actually bought Boeing. But what I was into, was SPR, was Spirit AeroSystems. And for those of you guys who don't know, Spirit AeroSystems is the #1 manufacturer for Boeing. And Spirit Aerospace is so much more volatile than Boeing. And I was in Spirit AeroSystems for quite a while. But then I sold it like 2 weeks ago when it was like $21. And now it is $28. It went up 21% today, almost $5. After hours, it went to $28.70. It went up another 65 cents. Oh, let's look at the chart. So for me, I sold it off here, somewhere in between here and here. So around $21, because after it went up from here, I decided to sell it because I made a good amount of profit, and then I just left it. Then it went down, and it stayed down, so I didn't care. Then it went up, and then it went down. And then, that was like a week ago. And then now it went up 21%. Some people on this channel thinks that, why am I hating on Boeing, right? First off, I'm not hating on Boeing, okay? I'm actually hoping that Boeing would go up, because if Boeing goes up, Spirit AeroSystems go up. And I am a big proponent of Spirit AeroSystems. I think they are highly underrated, and they're so much more volatile than Boeing. Right? If Boeing goes up 10%, Spirit will probably go up 20%. And so I am all for Boeing going up. I just let you guys know that. But I tend to be a little bit more risky-ish because the Spirit AeroSystems is a lot more volatile. And I didn't get in. I didn't get into Spirit AeroSystems. Why? Okay, so now let's talk about why Boeing is up. Okay, so the only current news today related to Boeing is that Boeing preserves 737 MAX orders after cancellation surges. Hedge funds buys debt. Okay, so those are the only news out there today. Okay, so what basically happened is that SMBC Aviation Capital, a Japanese aircraft leasing company, said it would defer delivery of 68 Boeing 737 MAX jets by 4 years to 2025 and 2027. The company said that it doesn't expect any Boeing 737 MAX cancellations at this point. Meanwhile, Boeing will provide compensation to Europe's biggest travel company, TUI Group, for a delay in 737 MAX. And then one more main story is that, meanwhile, Dan Loeb is a billionaire. He is in charge of Third Point Offshore Funds, named Boeing as one of its biggest winners for the month of May. Okay? And they also report that the hedge funds bought some of Boeing's debt. So basically, the 3 biggest news today is that SMBC Aviation is actually just delaying their orders. They're not canceling the orders. That's a big relief to Boeing. The second story is that Boeing has to pay compensation money to Europe's biggest traveling company, TUI. They're not canceling Boeing's delivery, but Boeing had to pay compensation for being late to pay TUI off for the airplane deliveries. And the third story is that the hedge fund, Third Point Offshore, is buying some of Boeing's debt. This shows that they believe that Boeing will recover. Boeing will recover very well. Now, based off of those three stories, is it worth it that Boeing jumps 12 to 13 to 14%? In my opinion, no. Based off of those stories alone, no, it shouldn't jump 12-13% because there have been other big stories like Saudi Arabia buying into Boeing, stories like Boeing had contracts for Saudi Arabia for military things. During those days, it went up pretty well. It did go up pretty well, but not this much. I don't think it ever had a 13% rise in one day. And after hours went up another 2%. After hours. All right, so now what is your option? Do you buy into Boeing right now because you are afraid that it might just go back up to 300? Or do you think that it's going to go down and you're going to wait for it to go down again? And that depends on what kind of investor you are. So there are three types of investors. The first type of investor is a long-term investor. If you're a long-term investor, you probably already bought Boeing at $120, $130. So you are probably fine. You're just sitting. You are not going to be selling it anytime soon. So long-term investors, it is over, okay? Good job. Okay? Long-term investing is the way to go. Now, the other two types of investor is for the short-term investors. For the short-term investor, they are split into two groups. The first group of short-term investors is the one that tries to predict the market based on news and trends. And they are currently not doing very well right now. There are so many stories of analysts, hedge funds, and investors saying that the market will drop. The market will drop, market will drop, market will drop. But it didn't, okay? Despite all the riots, despite all the tensions with China, despite the pandemic, everything out there that says that this Monday, okay, the previous Monday, we should have had a stock market drop or a stock market crash. But nope. All it did is that it went up. Stock market just went up. And because of that, a lot of these investors are missing out big time on this rally. I'm one of them. I am freaking one of them because I sold a lot of my positions last week because I didn't want to go through the weekend because it was already very, very high. You guys look at the S&P 500 here. Ever since May 13th, it has been on a crazy run up. And so for me, after such a crazy run, I took my profit and ran. I just left. And what did the market do? The market just went up without me. So sad. So funny, yet so sad at the same time. Alright, and the third type of investor is a short-term investor who plays the market and not quite the news or the economy. Okay? So what they do is they play based on emotions. They see that if there is a rally, they are going to jump into the rally and ride it up. Okay? Sometimes they fall, but if they get on a really good rally, they can make a lot of money. And that was what this whole 2 month has been about. Not even mentioning this week, right? But this whole 2.5 months, right? Look at this. The S&P went from 2,200 to 3,100. It pretty much gained 50% from its low in March. That is just crazy. And so anyone who has been playing the market based on emotions, they have had a very, very good streak. Very, very good streak. So now the question is, what type of investor are you? Are you the long-term investor? Are you the short-term investor that is buying on news and reports and data and trends? Or are you the third type that is buying on emotions, stock markets, and how much rallying there is? So that is your decision. If you are the long-term investor, then you probably already bought it and you're going to hold it anyways. If you are the second type of investor buying on news and statistics and trends, then there's probably a very good chance that you won't buy right now. If you are the third type and you buy on emotions and you just want to get a lot of profit and run before the stock market crashes, then buy now, maybe? I'm not in that category, so I don't know, but I'm thinking that people in that category would buy today and hopefully it goes up tomorrow too. So good luck with your investments and let me know how it goes. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all the best in your investments. So until next time, bye.